Once the model is complete, you're ready to render in the cloud. Rendering the cloud is simple, and it's very similar to what we've already done. Previously, we would click on the render button and you could do a quick little rendering right here in Revit. Well, sending it to the cloud allows you to render at a much higher quality, and you don't have to worry about how long it will take. Still, these settings are relevant. Whatever the lighting scheme is set to here will be applied in my other rendering in the cloud. So if I want more than just the sun to be turned on, then hit the drop down and choose something else. The other thing you may adjust here would be what's going to happen in the background. I usually like to use either sky with no clouds or very few clouds. And none of that really matters because I'm going to go into Photoshop and choose my own background anyhow. And then also the adjust exposure. If you want to make the image feel overall brighter, darker, you want it to be a little bit more vibrant in color, or you want it to feel warmer overall. There's all these different settings that you may want to look into. These two are quite important. If my lights are just too bright in select areas, I may want to come in here and just turn the highlights down. That'll take some of the overblown white or yellow areas from where the lights are hitting directly on the house, and just tone it down a little bit so we see a little more definition wherever those lights occur. Same with shadows. If they're too dark, lighten them up. Okay, once that's complete, you're ready to go. Simply click Render in the Cloud. These settings are important to take a look at. You want to make sure you've got an alpha transparency background. Okay, without that, you can't really go into Photoshop and add your own background. You also want to change the quality to final. At some point you want to change it to final. If this is a draft, it doesn't matter. And the size needs to be either maximum or large. I certainly recommend the maximum. You'll notice that when you do that, it's going to ask you for more credits. As long as you've got an unlimited amount available to you because you registered as a student, then you don't have to worry about that. It will, however, take up more time. So this one's going to take me 9 hours after I click Start Rendering. It'll happen in the background, so I don't have to worry about keeping the computer turned on. I can log off, I can shut it down, and eventually, after the 9 hours has expired, and by the way, you might even check back sooner, you click on the render gallery, which will take you to a web page, and here it's going to display all the other projects that you've rendered in the cloud. If you want to view this project, the most recent one for me, it's telling me that, hey, you've done this 6 times recently. Click on the 6. Here are all the different iterations. And to make any changes to the current one, or the one that you like, you can select it and then adjust some of the same exposure or brightness, color saturation, and warmth tools that we had before we rendered. So not all is lost. If you decide to do a high quality rendering, it takes a lot of time, and you decide I should have made some changes before I rendered, simply make them post rendering after you're done. And it's all the same. It even gives you a preview of what's going to happen. So you can get an idea of whether or not you're going to like the changes. And when you're done, you just hit apply. Okay, I also highly recommend that you re-render with a background. It's called the environment. And if you choose field, this is the most common one, it'll put a little field behind the house. It will also take an image from the front and map it onto your windows so they feel like they're more reflective. They feel like they're reflecting an actual environment and not just what's included right here within your model. Okay, when you're done with that, you simply say render, make sure that you have the transparent background selected. Once again, make sure that you dial up the quality. You render again. And when it's done, you can then come in here. It'll show you that it's done, and you can download. Okay, downloading will probably send this to your downloads your downloads folder on the computer. And the next video will show you what to do with that in Photoshop.